Hey everybody, welcome to Regina, Saskatchewan. My name is Emery. This is Association Success. What I'm going to go over in the next few minutes is just a few ways that you can make your videos look better if you're taking that avenue for stuff. I was going to do all this outside, but it's kind of rainy and crappy out. So instead of outside, you get my lovely condo and I'm just going to make stuff with whatever I have kicking around. So the first concept is light. If you have no light, you have no image. This is why it's the most important concept to grasp. The more light you have, the better the image will also look. I can change the setting on the camera to make it more sensitive to light, but it changes how the image looks. Or I can change the setting so that it allows light in for longer, but then I will get too much motion blur. The next concept is composition and framing, or the rule of thirds. You know that weird little grid you'll see on your phone camera? That grid is setting up the rule of thirds. The easiest composition in the rule of thirds is to align things on the lines of the grid or at the intersecting points on the grid. It might be an interesting thing to look at the photos that you enjoy and see where they would lie on the grid and see how many actually fall into the rule of thirds. The third concept is to manually lock your camera if you can. By manually locking, you avoid all the weird little changes that will happen when you use auto functions. If you are forced to use auto functions on your camera, the more light you have and the less contrast in that light, the less auto functions you will see fluctuate in your image. The first concept of logic is the 180-degree rule. If I were to draw an imaginary line from the nose of the hockey player to the nose of the wolf, the 180-degree rule would state that I would never cross that line while shooting, so I can shoot within 180 degrees of that straight line. What this does is present the same spatial relationship so that my hockey player always appears on the right side of my frame and the wolf always appears on the left side of the frame. If I were to cross that axis, you can see the spatial relationship has changed. This makes it hard to cut between and for the viewer to make sense of where the hockey player is in the scene in relationship to the wolf. The second concept of logic is montage theory. The very basic of montage theory is A plus B equals C. In other words, by adding two things together, you get something else that is neither those two things at the end. The easiest montage is to think of sequential montage. By using a linear action sequence and a shooting sequence that uses a wide shot, a medium shot, and a close-up, you can accomplish montages that make sense and still capture the emotional space that connects a viewer to the intricacies of a larger picture. The last concept is depth of field. Whole lot of science to this, but all you really need to know is if you want that background to go out of focus, all you need to do is take a step back with the camera, use your zoom, and zoom in, and voila, that background's out of focus. Yeah, so there you have it. Those are my quick and dirty tricks. But yeah. And always remember, Google things, learn things, search things, do things. The more you actually get your hands dirty and do stuff, the more you're going to learn. The more you're going to learn about what each of those things actually does and how you can use it. Yeah, so keep fit and have fun. Until next time.